All right, so he asked, this is actually one of the questions we didn't get to in the live. So he said, hopefully you can cover it in this show, but please consider talking about struggling with focus in one of your new episodes.
Yeah, so that's a good question, right? I hear that often now. Hey man, I'm struggling with focus. And part of the problem with people struggling with focus today is because we are overloaded by information. Our brains are not designed to take in so much information at once. And we've gotten so used to just kind of thumbing on our phones and scrolling through content. And while we can scroll really fast, our brains aren't used to absorbing all that. So we start dividing our focus. Focus only works best when you have singularity of focus. And so one, you've got to start weaning yourself off of social media. Look, I use social media. Everybody does. But I'm on it for an hour in the morning, mostly focused on what is the value that it's bringing to my business, what content am I creating versus consuming, right? So that hour that I'm on, I'm checking DMs, I'm putting up stories, I'm writing my post, and I'll like and leave some comments on friends' accounts that I like and enjoy, right? But then I'm off of it. I don't tempt myself with it by having notifications on, because if I had my notifications on and it flashes, I'm like, ooh, so-and-so put up a post, let me go see. And this is how they start reconditioning you to have partitioned focus. So turn off your notifications, in fact, I had it here. Notifications are off, phone is face down, pushed away from you. Like when I'm working at my desk, I don't have the notifications on. In fact, I never have them on. It's always on silent, face down, pushed away from me, because I want the temptation to be as far away from me as possible. So that's thing number one. Cut out these like extra information that your brain's trying to process. You've got so much bandwidth being used up that it is impossible for this new generation to focus.
Real quick though, I don't want to cut you, but on that note, let's say, because we've got a lot of people who make content, right? A lot of influencers, I guess you would say. They're on their phone for business or to make content or respond to DMs or whatever they're doing on Instagram for business, but then they get distracted responding to a personal message or scrolling the feed. What should that person do? Well, they're there for business, but then they very easily get distracted and brought to something else that's distracting. Like, what would you say to that?
It's a discipline.
Okay, so if it's like a muscle.
Yeah, it's a muscle.
Yeah.
So if you're distracted, train yourself to not react like a little monkey to every time there's a ding or a ping or a notification, right? Like it's, Pavlov's dog, right? They talked about how he started to feed the dog and then he'd ring the bell and the dog would salivate. Then he stopped feeding the dog. He would just ring the bell and then the dog started to salivate. Like Pavlov did a whole experiment on this in like the 1930s or 40s. And so that Pavlov's dog theory is the same here. Notifications coming in, or you go on there with the best of intentions. I'm going to post content. I'm going to make a call to action. I'm going to make money, check my DMs, have DM conversations, close deals. And then, oh, look at that. Look at that. She's training shoulders, but the camera angle is from the booty. Let me just watch what she's doing. That's my favorite of all posts on the internet, is when a fitness influencer is like training front delts, but the camera angle is from like the low booty shot. You can't even see the front delts.
That's all you need to see.
Right.
To get the views.
To get the views. Right. And it's like, oh, yeah, I influenced people. But in all seriousness, man, distraction is just a lack of discipline. Yeah. And then focus is content overloading you and taking away your attention. And so if we have discipline, if we turn off notifications, then the last thing is enthusiasm. Because if you are enthusiastic about what you're doing in life, nothing can take you away from it. Have you ever had it where like maybe dinner's ready, the kids are sitting at the table, wife's at the table, you're locked on to what you're doing because you're so passionate about it? Like I've done that with things. It could be hobbies where I'm like, oh, I got to put this one wheel back together after I put this new part on before I have dinner. Like there's no way about it. So you guys start without me. Like if you are enthusiastic about anything, you can absolutely focus. And so if you've done all those other things and you're still not able to focus, you're probably not passionate or enthusiastic about the thing you're doing. So you better find a better thing to get passionate, excited about, because life is pretty boring when you just try and get through it to make enough money to survive. You might as well start making money while you're enthusiastic and passionate about what you're doing.